Greetings, I'm Barents and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're continuing our playthrough of the Ghosts Betwixt. We're going through mission 1. In the first video, we were able to set the game up, do the intro, introduce all our characters, and we were even able to get through the first room. It had some dogs, but we were able to make it through. We're going to be moving into the rest of the playthrough here. Before we start, I do want to mention that this game was recorded in one sitting. So if there were any mistakes made in the first one, I'm not going to be able to correct them, but you will see some maybe pinned comments or potentially maybe some subtitles along the way so that you get a good grasp of all the rules that are taking place inside the Ghosts Betwixt. We're going to go continue on our mission. Are we going to survive inside the Benert household? To find out, I need you to meet me at the table. We have found a kitchen with a huge giant table in the middle and also a countertop over here. Those are going to be our obstacles. So we're going to have to try to maneuver around these in order to be able to hit our people. Now, this is going to be an interesting predicament here. We're actually going to move into that concept of fork in the road. But first, I'm going to draw my 3 fate tokens for this map. And then I'm going to place them 1, 2, 3, just like that. Those are going to be the fate tokens we draw. Actually, I think it's supposed to be in this order. There we go. It doesn't really matter too much. All right, we're going to put them like that. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to split our map tiles up. So we're going to take 3 and put them up here and 2 put them over here. Now we also have to split our fate tokens. So we're going to take 3 from the bottom for one map tile, and we're going to take 3 more from the other map tile and put them right here. So this is where our fork in the road has happened. So now we have 2 separate ways that we could go throughout the Benert house. We're not exactly sure where we're going to be finding our locked door. We're going to have to check them out. Of course, after we figure out what's in this room, we're going to have to decide which way to go. Oh, this is pretty cool because now this thing's branching out all over the place. We're going to flip over our fate tokens now. We have found a door. So we're going to go ahead and place 1 door right here. We have also found a rat trap. And we have also found the locked door. Wow, we found the locked door right away. That's absolutely awesome. That means we have gotten to our objective 1. It says during the drawing phase, draw a locked door token. We did that. We're going to place the locked door token into a plastic base during the spawning phase. In the map tile for which it was drawn, place the locked door in the middle of the wall without a door. Complete the spawning phase or fighting phase if applicable, and then complete. All right, we're going to place it then right here because that's the only place that doesn't have a doorway out of here. Now, another thing is I don't have a door for this room, which means we're going to be adding more tokens. Since we have fewer door tokens and there are doorways on the map tile, we're going to go ahead and continue the drawing phase into the next room. So we're going to be spawning another room from this set of tokens over here. We have found map tile number 5. So we're going to go ahead and place that one down as well. I've gone ahead and placed down map tile 1, and we're going to go ahead and put a door here. Even if we don't draw a door with these 3 fate tokens, we are still going to be closing off this room. The thing doesn't go forever. It's always just going to stop right here. Now, of course, we draw a door token, it's just going to be that door token. We have found a bear trap, we have found a chest, and we have found enemy number 1. So that means our enemies are actually going to spawn in this room. This room actually doesn't have any enemies. It just has a rat trap and that locked door. So let's go ahead and spawn our enemy. Before we do that, we do actually have to resolve our tokens in the order they were drawn. So we did draw this one first, so we're going to go ahead and roll to see where it goes. Now this is a 8x6 map, so we're going to go ahead and go 1 through 6 and 1 through 8. So let's go ahead and roll those up and see what we got. We got 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be right here. Now traps, you can walk on top of them. The only way they are going to spring is if you've been stumbled into them. For example, if he's able to use his ability to stumble a monster into the trap, that's the only way it would affect you. Of course, the monsters can also stumble you as well into these traps. So being able, right here isn't the end of the world. I can keep on walking past it. Let's go ahead and spawn our bear trap. Same deal. We're going to go 6 and 8. So let's go ahead and roll those up. We got a 6 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3. It's right here. We're going to do our treasure token next. Our treasure token is a 1 and 3. 1, 2, it's 1 and 1, 2, 3, just like that. And then now we're going to go ahead and grab our monster. According to our book, monster token 1 is just 1 Benert Lackey. Our Benert Lackey comes in with 2 light green and a light yellow die for damage. It starts with a tan defense die, 1 agility, has 6 hit points. I get 3 experience points. Check it out, we even get a buck. He is up to no good. Stumble 1. Oh, that's going to be terrible. 1, 2 punch. Roll another light yellow die and take the higher roll. And he's susceptible to sickness, but I don't have any of that. We're going to go ahead and put his 6 hit points right here, just like that. Now, of course, we have to draw a token to see who he's going to fight. He is going to be going after Joan, which isn't the end of the world. Now, also our symbol right here states that he has to grab one of the humanish weapons to see what he's going to try to attack with. So we're going to give him a little truffle shuffle. You shuffle him up every time. We're going to go ahead and see. He has gotten, what's this? A dull butter knife. The best weapon this poor sap could find. All right, that's awesome. He's going to have a light blue die from that. So we're going to go ahead and get him all set. Now, if we would have had more, we would have added more things around the card as you see it here, but we only have 1. So we're going to go spawn him on his map. Our Benert Lackey is going to be spawned over there in the bedroom. He's going to be spawned on 4 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to place him right here because that is an obstacle. We're going to remove this token, but I do have to give him a token. I have to give him stunned 1 because of our investigation in the other room. This is going to make him become, he won't be able to activate on his turn. So we actually get a free turn to really take him out if we can actually do it. So I'm going to go ahead and place this next to his card. And at the beginning of his activation, he's just going to remove this and not be able to activate. We're going to now move into the fighting phase because there is a monster that we have to deal with. So we get to do our pre-fighting phase actions for all family members. I'm going to go ahead and have Maddox do something really interesting for his pre-fighting phase. I'm going to have him use this attack talents. Now, you cannot use attack talents during the pre-fighting phase that make you roll dice. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend one of his tokens to gain a charge token on his bottle rocket. I can still craft the bottle rockets as the pre-fight action, but I can't actually use the battle rockets during the pre-fight action. So that's going to be his pre-fight action. He still has the light green from his last encounter, and I can remove this dog because we've moved into the next room and we've already gained all of our experience points. Since our Lackey is targeting Joan, I'm not too worried about it. We're going to go ahead and grab a light green die. We're going to take an offensive stance. Since Joan is actually going to be the object of his attention, I'm going to go ahead and give her a defensive stance. Bill is going to go ahead and also use one of his abilities as his pre-fight action here. He's going to use Overprotective, give an adjacent member this card with 2 charges. If adjacent to Bill, while rolling defense dice, I can spend a charge to gain a brown die. I'm going to give this to Joan. The reason I'm doing that, not taking an offensive stance, is because he's so far away from that Benert. I don't think he's going to get there this turn, and if he doesn't use the die on his turn, he loses all the abilities up here when it comes to the different offense and defensive stances. Now, of course, there are going to be a lot of other things you can do during this pre-fight phase as the game goes forward, because you're going to be gaining new abilities, new weapons, new items, all these different things that you can do during this phase. But I'm going to go ahead and spend my 1 focus point to give Joan that card. And we're going to go ahead and place the 2 charge tokens just right on that card, and she's going to be all set to be, well, hopefully be defended. Now that we've finished our pre-fight phase, I'm going to go ahead and start our fighting phase. I'm going to activate a family member. We're going to start with Evelyn. I'm going to go ahead and place this token onto her character card. Now there's different ways you could use this token. You could go ahead and put it on all of them having this token. When they activate, you could flip it upside down to show that they're exhausted and have already activated. You could place it down on the character like this, and then when you activate them, you just remember to exhaust them. There's many different ways to use this token. There's not really a set rule for it as of yet, at least during the time of this recording. So for me, I just go ahead and place it on the token on their card. That way I know that I've activated that character already. But you could probably do many different things, whatever's the easiest for you to figure out. So she's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now she was cutting the corner of that obstacle, so I had to actually add an extra movement point. So she's going to move to right here, and then she's probably going to fire at that Benert Lackey. At this point, Evelyn is going to attempt to make a ranged combat attack. Now I had her sitting like this so we could see her, but she actually should be facing in this direction because she's running in this way. But I'm just going to turn her a little bit for the purposes of filming. Also, he should probably be facing that way as well, so we're going to turn him a little bit like that, just so we can see that he's actually facing that way. Now when you make a ranged attack in this game, you're going to check to see if you have line of sight. Line of sight in this game is any corner of your square has to be drawn to any 2 corners of the enemy square. So we're going to use this bottom one right down here. And we've got a corner right there just fine. And the second corner we've got right there, we're perfectly fine. It does not go through any obstacles. So we're able to make a ranged combat attack. And I'm also going to state right now, I have a lot of people that ask me about this. I use this all the time when I check for line of sight. I found this on Amazon. It's actually a saw light guide that you can pick up there. I think it's like 15 bucks. Or I think Army Painter also has those. That are 2 different places you can find this line of sight tool. I used to use it for X-Wing, and now I use it for all my board games. So that's a little bit about that. Let's go ahead and make our ranged combat attack and see if we can take out this Benert Lackey. We're going to go ahead and build her dice pool. I'm not going to use her power this time, so we're going to grab a light blue die, a green die. We're going to grab 1 light green die there, and then we're going to grab a light yellow die for her accuracy here. So those are going to be the 4 dice we're going to roll up. And of course, our Benert Lackey gets to roll up 1 tan die for his defense, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that as well. We're going to pick up all these dice and see how we do. We're going to go ahead and use our slingshot against Benert Lackey. Let's roll him up and, oh, okay, well, we got 2 hits and, oh, this is going to be pretty good. We got 2 hits and he only has 1 agility, so that is a hit. We have done 1 damage and he has a 1/4 defense. So when all is said and done here, it's not too bad. We did 1 damage and he didn't block any of it, so he's going to take 1 damage. We're going to take 1 damage off the Benert Lackey, and we're going to lower our light green token back down to the bottom of the area. And we're going to move into somebody else's turn. It's going to be on our Benert Lackey's turn, because next thing we do is we activate our first monster group. But he's stunned, so he's not going to do anything. We're just going to remove this token, and we're going to move into our next turn. The next family member we're going to activate is going to be Maddox. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here. So he's actually going to be facing this direction, but I'm going to turn him a little bit. And he also is going to attempt to make a ranged comment against the Benert Lackey. Now again, we're going to go ahead and check our line of sight. We're going to move him. I don't think he's going to have it here, but I'm going to choose the back square back here, or the back corner, and he can see that one, and he can, oh wow, I think he can. He can see that one too without it going through the bed. He actually has a line of sight. Oh, I didn't expect that. So he's going to go ahead and make an attack. But now if you notice, this is going to be going through Evelyn's square. So he's going to get a bonus to the roll. It's going to be a white dice. It's an obstruction penalty. So he's going to be able to roll an extra white dice. If at any time you have 2 obstructing penalties, you can't actually make the ranged combat attack. The way you're going to gain obstructing penalties is if you're firing through family members or something of that nature, or if you're actually trying to make a ranged combat attack with a monster adjacent to you. So if this was a Benert Lackey adjacent to him, and I could still make the attack, but it would be at double obstructing penalties, which means I then wouldn't be able to make the attack because she'd be blocking it. I'd have a person next to me as well. So that's just different ways of increasing or decreasing your chance of hitting. So our Benert Lackey is going to gain an extra white dice. Barf. Maddox is going to go ahead and grab a green, light blue, and this light green die. He's going to be rolling a dark yellow die for his accuracy too, and our Benert Lackey gets both a tan die and a white die. Of course, the tan die for what he has, and the white die for his obstruction penalty. With the retarget die, we're going to have to go ahead and change the target. Apparently he's not a big fan of Joan anymore. He wants to take on Maddox. So Maddox is now the target of the Lackey. We're going to return this to the pool. And apparently he loves a bunch of bottle rockets, so he's going after him now. Now, if this had been rolled during his attack, there's a chance that he could have changed the attack that he was doing right in the middle of it if he would have rolled this die. So it's an interesting concept. I'm excited to see how that works and it actually go forward. But of course, it only happens when it does defense, it just changes the person that actually attacked him. All right, we're going to go ahead and move into the rest of our turns. Now we have Bill and we have Joan left. Bill is just going to go ahead and take a move action. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to right there because he only has a 5 speed. Of course, I have to turn a little bit because he is running that way. And Joan also has a 5 speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. She's going to be right there. So those are all of our characters. They've all moved. Now, of course, these two can do a second action, and they probably will. Bill is going to go ahead and take an offensive stance. Since our Lackey has sadly switched targets, I am going to go ahead and grab an offensive stance for Joan. We're going to be moving into our second round, and sadly, of course, this thing is not stunned anymore. Not in any way I think I can stun him again. So I'm actually going to attack with, I think we're going to use Bill first. I've got a plan. It's probably a pretty bad plan, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to activate Bill. Bill's going to go ahead and go first. He's going to move up one. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 behind this Lackey, and he's going to go ahead and attack. And because of that, he's going to be able to upgrade his die from a light orange to a dark orange die, and hopefully we can maybe take this guy out somehow. He's going to roll a light green, a green, another light green over here, and then he's going to be rolling a dark orange instead of a light orange because I'm attacking in the blind spot, or the blind side attack. So we're going to go ahead and roll up all these dice, and of course we're going to use our Benert Lackey's tan die as well. Let's go ahead and roll these dice up and see how we do against this Lackey. We got one success. Oh, we got a lot of things going for us. This is awesome. All right, so we've got one success, which means we were able to beat his 1 agility, so we have actually hit our target. We do have 2 weapon activations here. We're going to use Disarm 1 with both of these diamonds. We're going to do 3 damage to that Lackey, meaning he's going to be down to only 2 left. He does have a quarter defense, but that's not going to help him. He doesn't have anything to help him, and these isn't going to do anything for us. So we did 3 damage, and he is also disarmed. With our tennis racket, we were able to disarm the Benert Lackey, which means we're going to go ahead and turn his monster card over and give him a disarm token. He's not able to actually use the weapon he has until he's able to remove this token. So next turn he attacks, he's not going to be able to do anything, which is really going to be right about now. After the attack, we're going to go ahead and lower our token. After activating Bill, we're going to go ahead and activate our first enemy group, which is going to, of course, be the Benert Lackey. Benert Lackey is the only one out there. Now, there's something else I want to mention. These aren't supposed to be placed on the tile. I had placed it on the tile from the first one, and of course, this is actually supposed to be placed next to the tile over here, like you would if you were to draw any of the other tokens that don't get placed. You put them next to the tile, and then after you're done resolving the combat in this room, you'd resolve all the tokens on the outside of the tiles. We're going to go ahead now actually move into his turn, but yeah, even if you place it on the map, it's not the end of the world, but they are actually supposed to be placed to the side. He gets a total of 5 speed, and he can go 1, 2, 3, but that's really about as far as he can go, because it would take him 4, 5, and 6 to get past Joan in order to get to his target, which is Maddox. So in that instance, he's going to attack a family member on the way, is what it's called. That means he's going to attack anybody, the person that he can get as close to the target that is in his way in essence. Now, of course, then he's going to go ahead and decide who he attacks by random draw. So we're going to go ahead and take a Joan token, and we're going to take an Evelyn token. We're going to mix both these tokens up, and we're just going to draw one of these at random, and that's who he attacks. He's going to attack Evelyn. So we're going to go ahead and resolve an attack against her. Our Benert Lackey is going to go ahead and roll 2 light green dice and a light yellow die. That's all he's going to get. He doesn't get his weapon, remember, because it is disarmed. We are going to go ahead and take the token off, though, and flip it back over so he can use it in the next attack. Evelyn, of course, gets 1 white die as her defense die. Let's see how this goes for Evelyn. Evelyn is able to dodge or remove one of the successes, but he only got a half success, so that doesn't even happen. He did get 1 damage, and he also did 1 to activate some of his weapons and abilities, but of course these aren't going to go off because he didn't actually make any successes against her. The Benert Lackey is complete. Now, he does have a Stumble 1, which is kind of a passive power, but it's still something he has to hit with in order for it to activate. So he did not get to stumble Evelyn back at all either. At this point, I'm going to try something a little risky, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to move Evelyn 1, 2, 3 straight through this Benert Lackey here so that she can have an attack against his blind side. But he's going to get an obstruction penalty because he is adjacent to me when I make this attack. So he's actually going to get an extra yellow die along with that tan die. But my attack roll, of course, gets to go up to a dark yellow die, and I might be able to take this guy out. Evelyn's going to gain the green die, a light blue die, and she's also going to be rolling a dark yellow die. Now, she doesn't have any extra bonuses up here, so we're going to see how that goes against the Benert Lackey's defense dice. Let's go ahead and roll the dice and see what we get. We were able to get 3 hits, but only 1 damage. Oh no, and check this out, he's going to switch his target. So we got 3 hits, meaning we beat his agility by 1. He didn't do anything with that die, but this is going to switch the target to her, and we only did 1 damage. That's going to bring his health down to 1 and switch the target to Evelyn. But that's okay. I don't think he's going to be around for much longer. It's time for Joan to take a swing. She's standing right next to him. So she's going to go ahead and grab a light green die here, a light green die here. She's going to be using a dark yellow die, and she's going to gain 1 more light green die from right there. Now, of course, our Benert Lackey, well, he's going to get that defense die. Hopefully we can take him down. Let's see how this goes. We did get 1 success. He got no defense against it. Oh yeah, we totally destroyed this guy. He got 3 damage against him. And he also got an extra thing for a putter, which can give us another damage or a stumble. This guy took massive amounts of damage. He's totally gone, and he only had 1 left. We're going to go ahead and place his standee right there, but it's not going to be there for long. We are going to go ahead and add this back to our monster humanish deck, and we're going to go ahead and put our token back into the pool. Our Benert Lackey was worth 3 experience and 1 Benert buck. So everybody's going to gain 3, but she's going to gain an extra 3. So she actually got 6 experience points for taking him out. Also, we would lower this, but since she was able to take him out, she's going to go ahead and grab it right back. Then we get to draw 1 card from the drop deck equal to the tokens that we were able to pull. We only pulled 1, so we're going to draw 1 drop card. It says, "Have a pat on the back. You have found nothing of importance on the battlefield." Oh, that's awesome. All right, so we've this Benert Lackey apparently just woke up and had nothing on him, had nothing to do, nothing. He has nothing. Wow. Having defeated all the enemies, we are going to resolve our number 8 treasure token, and look, we're going to get another 4 bucks. At this point, I thought I'd show off our family journal. I'm just showing you Bill and Joan. Evelyn and Maddox are very similar to how this is working. Bill has 7 family XP. We've killed a total of 2 dogs and 1 Benert Lackey, which gives a total of 7 experience points. But he was able to take out that 1 dog on his own, or he did the finishing blow, I should say. So he does get the 2 bucks from that. We found 2 bucks in our drop deck last time. Now, of course, Joan has 7 experience points, but 3 my experience points because she took out the Benert Lackey and gained the 1 buck from the Benert Lackey. We also picked up 4 from our treasure token. I gave that to Evelyn, but of course all the money that's spread across these characters is communal and can be used to purchase whatever we want together as a family. Though if any character does actually KO or is eliminated from the game, they're going to lose half of the Benert bucks they're carrying. So you kind of want to try to keep these spread out the best you can, but sometimes somebody's going to be having more than somebody else. Also, we are done with objective for find the door to the basement. We were able to do that. And it says here, complete the spawning phase or fighting phase if applicable. Now that the fighting phase is over, we're going to go ahead, flip the card, and see what happens to our brave family members. We have our objective is complete. There! Evelyn points towards the door to the Fungeon scratched into it. We're coming for you, bro! So I'm going to go ahead, discard, and I'm going to read objective 2. Mission 1, Objective 2, open the door to the basement. What a novel idea. It says, end an exploration phase with at least a family member adjacent to the door to the basement. At that point, we're going to go ahead and read Story 1-1. So at this point, we can kind of move our characters around and do investigations if we want, but I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go straight over this door to the basement. We're going to go ahead and set our characters up so we're ready for what comes out of the basement. We're going to put our characters like this, and we're going to go ahead and complete our objective because we have now ended an exploration phase with at least 1 family member adjacent to a door, so we're going to read Story 1-1. Story 1-1. From beyond the door, the family hears strange sounds, muffled chanting, and even faint giggling. Richie's screams can be heard fighting through the grim chatter, but the door won't budge. Even after several solid kicks to the door handle, footsteps and shuffling from the floor above draws each of their attention. There's only one way to go, Joan says, while looking at the ceiling. Hold on, son, Bill pounds on the door. We'll be back. The distant laugh sharply increases. I'll give you something to laugh about, Bill shouts. Good one, Dad, Maddox whispers. The family turns away from the basement door. 2 disheveled men barge into the room. The family share a quick nod before they charge into battle to save Richie. We have completed Objective 2, so we're going to go ahead and flip the card. Now it says Objective complete. 1. Spawn 2 Benert Lackeys in the map tile adjacent to the doorway from the room you entered. Discard and read Objective 3. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give them their 6 hit points each. Put 1 over there, and 2 is going to be over on this side. Next, we're going to go ahead and mix up our humanish weapons again and see which ones they're going to get. So let's go ahead and take the deck and give it a good old truffle shuffle here and see which ones are going to be theirs. Hopefully nothing too bad. All right. The first one is going to get a cracked mop. So he's going to gain an extra light green die, and they find mop 20 years ago. It says stumble 2 if I'm able to get that for him. All right, we're going to put that right there. Our second one is going to get something different, not a mop. It's going to get hopefully something a lot nicer than a mop. I got that dull butter knife again. So we're going to go ahead and place that right there for him. Now, of course, we also have to take our pile of tokens here and go ahead and mix them up a little bit. And we're going to have to go ahead and spawn these for each of our characters here. We're going to go ahead and take this one. He's going to go after Joan, which is right there. And of course, our second one is going to attack somebody. He's going to go ahead and attack Bill. So he's going to be going after Bill. All right, they're on the board, and this is going to be our first monster group. Now, of course, I'm all set up for a showdown down here, but that's not how it happened. We're going to go ahead and spawn these two Benert lackeys adjacent to the room where the family entered from. Now, we actually entered from this room, even though we exposed all this. So these guys are going to come in over here. So Benert lackey 1 is going to come in from right there, and number 2 is going to come in from right here. So let's go ahead now and get those two monsters ready for action. We're going to move into our pre-fight actions. I'm actually going to give her a defense die because she, of course, is being targeted by one of them. I'm also going to give Bill a defense die, but I don't know if they're actually going to get to him this turn, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Evelyn's not being targeted by anybody. She's grabbing an offensive stance. I'm actually going to have Maddox go ahead and grab another charge by spending another one of his family points. So now he's got 2 in his rocket pack here, and that is the max he can have. He can only have 2. But now I can go ahead and use this as an action to go ahead and shoot off both of these bottle rockets. Now that we spawned our monsters, we're going to go ahead and see our objective. And of course, it's just defeat all the monsters. So we just have to take out those 2 guys. We're going to go ahead and now begin our fighting phase. So we're going to activate a family member. We're going to try something. This is going to be kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and activate Maddox. I think you might know what might be coming. I'm going to go ahead and move him right here. 1, 2. That's going to be my plan. And he is going to go ahead and use his bottle rockets. It says right here, perform an attack for every charge on this card. Each attack targets a random monster within range, ignoring line of sight. However, it may still incur obstructed penalties. It's going to gain Pierce 1. And so I have 2 tokens on this. I have 2 charge tokens. So we're going to decide who these are going to attack. We're going to go even for this guy, odd for that guy. So the first bottle rocket is going to go right here on that guy. And the second bottle rocket is going to target this guy. So they split them up. That's okay. I was actually hoping that they would both go after the same target. To make this attack, we're going to gain our dice pool from the actual card itself. So our dice pool is right here. We have a light blue, green, light green, and a dark yellow die. And of course, our Benert lackey is going to be gaining a tan die. Let's go ahead, roll all these up and see how it goes. Let's get this guy. We got 2 successes, so that's fantastic. We did hit him. We have some problems though. He is only going to take 2 damage, and check this out. He's going to change his target, which is going to be absolutely terrible. Now, of course, we do have Pierce 1, which would go through defense, but he didn't actually roll any defense. So he's not going to be able to, this isn't really going to affect anything. So we've done a total of 2 plus the 1 innate that this actually does. So we did a total of 3 damage to that Benert lackey, meaning he is down to only 3 health remaining. So the Benert lackey is down to 3 health, and he is switching his target to Maddox. So we're going to go ahead and replace this and put this back in the pool. Our dice pool for the second attack is going to remain exactly the same, except of course this character is going to gain an obstructed penalty die. Let's see how the second bottle rocket does. It got 1, 2... He's switching the target again. Oh no, this is terrible. All right, so we've got 3 hits. So we actually did hit him because he only had 1 agility. We did a total of 4 damage, which is fantastic. That's going to bring this Benert lackey down to 2 health, which is just fine. Of course, he did get pierced, but that's not going to matter. Check this out. Another target switching die. Oh, he's going to switch to him too. So both of these guys are going to be going after Maddox. Benert lackey number 2 is also going to switch his target to Maddox, and he is down to 2 health. At this point, the Benert lackeys are both going to go at Maddox. Why wouldn't you? He just fired a bunch of bottle rockets at you. So this one's going to move up 1, 2, 3 to right here. The reason he's going to move right here and attack is because if he does switch his target, he has to move and attack the target, but also be as close as he can to any other person that he might want to potentially hit in the future. This one then will move 1, 2, 3 to right, or to right here once we're done with that attack, and face and attack him there. Of course, I'll kind of turn them this way. So they're both going to be able to move and attack. We're going to do number 1 first, and if that changes where number 2 goes, I'll adjust this, but otherwise he's just going to go ahead and roll and attack Maddox as well. And sadly, I don't have any abilities that are going to help him right now. He's on his own. Our Bernard Lackey is going to go ahead and attack with 3 light green dice, a light yellow die, and of course all I get is 1 tan die because I wasn't planning to be attacked. So we're going to roll these up and see what happens to our good friend Maddox over there. He got 1 success, so that means it hit Maddox. But Maddox does have a dodge, so he was able to dodge this 1 attack, or evade. He was able to evade the attack, so that means he does not get hit. So that means the 2 damage does not happen. This half hit isn't going to help at all. So since he did not hit, this will not activate our cracked mop. So Maddox got away scot-free from our first attack. The second Bernard Lackey is going to roll the exact same dice, except I'm adding a light blue die in. Let's see how this goes. Oh, this actually went pretty good too. All right, so he actually hit us twice, which means he actually beat our agility. We didn't do any defensive rolls, so we don't get any extra bonuses. Look how much damage he did. Nada. He didn't hit us at all. Or he hit us, but he didn't do any damage. He did get a special, but he only has 1 special, so it's not going to activate the 2 special down here. Now, though, since it did hit, even if it did damage, didn't do damage, I'm going to have to suffer stumble 1. I don't know how Maddox got so lucky in that instance. Now, of course, he does have to suffer stumble 1, but if you notice, there's really no place to stumble into. He's against a wall. So that's going to be the end of this activation. This one I'm actually going to turn back this way. When it comes to moving these individuals, when you get to a diagonal, in the rules of the states, just, have fun, put the guys how you want. I could either have it turn to attack Maddox facing this direction, or I can turn to attack Maddox facing this way. I'm going to have it face that way because this one's already facing this way and is about to get crushed by Joan. So that's going to be how we play this out. That's the end of the Bernard Lackey's turn. We're going to move into one of our activations. And I'm going to go ahead and activate Joan. Joan is going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3 up to here and attempt to attack this Bernard Lackey with her little horsey putter. It's going to be awesome. She's going to be able to grab 2 light green dice, 1 for her innate attack, 1 for the putter. She also is going to get an extra light green die for her token over here. Now, she normally rolls a dark yellow die, but since she is in the blind spot, she's attacking from the blind side, she's going to gain a light orange die as well. Of course, our Bernard Lackey is going to grab his tan die, and let's see what happens. The Bernard Lackey only has 2 left. Let's see if we can get him. Oh, I think we got him. And even the switch target isn't going to matter. So we hit him with his 1 agility. He has a switch target as his defense dice, so that's not going to help him because look at this. I did 2 damage and he only has 2 left. And of course, I have activated one of the powers on my putter. I could do 1 damage or stumble 1. It's not going to matter. We're going to do our 2 damage and kill our Bernard Lackey. We're going to take our standee, place it right here on Joan's card. We're going to place this back into the humanish deck and of course return this token to the pool. Also, we're going to go ahead and lower her light green die, but then since she defeated an enemy, we're going to boost it right back up. At this point, we're going to go ahead and activate Evelyn. Evelyn is going to take her activation token, and we're going to try, again, the same little technique that worked last time. Let's see how it does this time. We're going to go ahead and move down here, and we're going to go ahead and range attack this Bernard Lackey in the back, meaning I'm going to get a blindside bonus, but of course, he's going to gain an obstructed penalty because I am adjacent to him, and I'm trying to do a ranged attack. Evelyn is going to activate her ability again. I'm going to go ahead and use a focus point to be able to perform an attack action and roll the damage die twice and keep the better roll. So she's going to get a green, light blue. She's also going to get, instead of 1 accuracy, 1 light yellow die, she's going to be gaining a dark yellow die, and she gets 2 of them because of this power. She also gets a light green die for this. And of course, our Bernard Lackey is going to gain a white and tan dice. Let's see how this goes. This Bernard Lackey has 3 health left. Let's see if we can take him out. We got a total of 3 hits. Now let's see if this actually holds up, or 3 damage, I mean. 3 is better than 2. We're going to remove that die. This die is not going to help him. He did get a dodge, which means it's going to cancel out one of our hits, so we're going to remove that. But check it out. I still have 1 hit, which is going to beat his agility. I'm going to do 3 damage to him, plus I can activate either damage 1 or I can activate blind 2. Doesn't really matter. I've done 3 damage. He is going to be toast. Oh, good shot, Evelyn. Evelyn's going to go ahead and grab the standee. She's also going to lower her light green die, but since she was able to defeat an enemy, she's going to gain that light green die back. We're going to go ahead and put these back in their respective places, and we're going to move on. First, we're going to go ahead and gain our experience points, which means everybody is going to go ahead and gain a total of 6 experience points, so we took 2 of these guys out. Joan and Evelyn are going to gain 3 extra. They're going to gain 3 my experience points. And that's going to be the end of the fight, which means we have defeated all the monsters, so we're going to go on to our next chapter card. Also, Joan and Evelyn are both going to gain a Benert Buck because they were able to take out those respective enemies. We're next going to draw our next card from the drop deck, and we have found a monster trophy. Roll a d6 to randomly choose a monster card from the previous fight phase and gain its monster trophy. Well, we only had 1 enemy, so we're going to gain that as a monster trophy. We're going to gain monster trophy number 3. We're going to go ahead and record our monster trophy right here. I'm going to put number 3. You can write it on any one of the characters' cards. It's really not going to matter. At some point during our campaign, we'll be able to spend these to potentially put new and better weapons, items, and equipment into our item and equipment deck. Of course, some of these monster trophies might actually add bad things to the monster deck, such as the humanish and the beastly attack deck that they're going to be gaining. So it's kind of, you never really know what you're going to get, but I put it right here. We have monster trophy 3. Objective complete. Read story 1-2. Then we're going to shuffle map token 8A into the remaining map tokens. Then we're going to shuffle large rat trap, door token, surprise event token into the remaining fate tokens. Now over here is some interesting rules here. It says if 2 or more stacks of map tokens and fate tokens exist, combine map tokens and shuffle in 8A. Combine fate tokens and shuffle in 3 new fate tokens. Evenly split the stacks, maintaining a 3-to-1 ratio of fate tokens per map token, and return them near the doors they previously occupied. So in our instance, one door will have 4 map tokens, the other one will have 1, but we're going to shuffle in that 8th token. So that means that one of them is going to gain an extra map token. And of course, wherever that map token is, those 3 extra fate tokens will also go. Of course, we're not going to know what fate tokens or map tokens are where. It's really cool how this game just has so much replay value because you never know what's going to be where. Story 1-2. Bill grins and quickly picks up one of the guard's crude, cracked weapons. His hand slowly begins to twitch and then vibrate, then shake violently until his weapon falls to the ground. Bill looks at his hand stunned. Either Benerts are running an electrical magnetic field that would make Egon Spangler proud, or something really perplexing is afoot, Maddox says. Dad, I wouldn't touch anything these people have handled. Next, we're going to go ahead and take those fate tokens, the ones next to the one door, and those are next to the other doors, and we're going to add in our door, surprise, and rat trap. We're going to add those into the rest of these fate tokens. We're going to make this pile disappear, shuffle them all up a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and draw them back together again. So we're going to take 3 and put them aside. Then we're going to take 3 more. Those are the new tokens, and then we're going to go ahead and stack the rest of them up and are going to place them next to the doors. So we decided to give the extra door token to that one single stack. So we're going to split them up with these going to the bigger stack of doors and those going to the other ones. This one, of course, is next to the bedroom. Our objective is now objective 4, find the staircase 8A. So during the drawing phase, draw map token 8A. Place map tile with the staircase orientated opposite the family members. Then we're going to draw 3 fate tokens as normal for the map tile 8A. However, only spawn trap tokens and discard the rest. We're going to add doors to the 2 doorways in 8A not connected to the map. During the exploration phase, place each family member in the first row of 8A adjacent to the doorway from which you entered. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and flip this over. Now we have to decide which way we want to go. First, I have to turn her. She should actually have been facing the Benert Lackey in that direction. It should be like this, but for recording purposes, I want to at least have it so you can kind of see where my characters are. So she's going to be facing that way is what she should have done. Not the end of the world, because at this point, we're entering into our new phase for exploring. And so we can kind of go wherever we want. Nothing's really going to spawn unless we actually go somewhere that causes a spawning based on some kind of token, but all the totens are gone. We're totally to the point where we're just going to walk walk up to a door and figure out where to go. Now there's 3 tokens this way and 2 tokens this way. I think we're going to go into the bedroom and through this door. That way if we explore these 2 and it's not there, we can come back and know it's only these 3. Or if we go through these 3 and we know it's not anywhere, it's 2. I don't know, in theory, there should be less this way, but I guess there's not really a theory in any of this because it could be any one of these tokens. That's the cool thing about this game. I'm going to go ahead and line everybody up over here so that we're going to be all set to take on what is in this room. But before we do that, I think we're going to go ahead and explore inside that room. We're going to investigate that room, and Joan's going to do it. She's going to go ahead and use one of her family points, bringing her family points down to 4. This way we can see if there's anything in this room. After all, Bernard Lackey had nothing on him at all. Maybe he hid it under the bed. Let's go ahead and roll up some dice and see what we find. Joan's max focus points are 6. So let's go ahead and roll these up and hopefully get some 6s. Oh, we got 1. Well, hopefully that's enough. 5A, we were able to do 1 success. So it says under the bed you find a bottle of warm orange juice on its side. So we're going to go ahead and take our bottle of orange juice. We actually already have one of these. We get to roll a dark yellow die and gain 4 focus points to yourself or adjacent family members. We're going to go ahead and give this to Joan. Joan right now is equipping some milk. We're going to switch that out. I'm going to put the orange juice in her equipped item slot. I'm going to put the milk into her accessory slot. With our investigation done, it's time to go into the drawing phase. We're going to go ahead and remove our door. Then we're going to draw our map token. Come on, map token number 8. We found number 2. All right, we got number 2, and we're going to take these 3 to go along with map 2. Let's go ahead and place it down. 2 is a long hallway, which I could place in this direction I want, but I'm actually going to place it this way. We're going to keep on traveling into this house. Now we're going to go ahead and reveal our 3 tokens. The first one we're going to reveal is a rat trap. All right, I'm just going to place that right there. We will spawn it soon. We also have a door. All right, we're going to go ahead and place a door right over here. And then our last one is, oh, it's a question mark. That's going to be really cool. All right, we do have to actually place the rat trap. Then we're going to go ahead and take care of that token. We're going to go ahead and roll them right here. I've got an 8-sided die. I'm going to roll odd, even to see where it goes. Odd. So it's going to be in this tile right here. And then what number is it going to be? 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Our rat trap is right here. Now this is our surprise event. We're going to go ahead and deal with one of these surprise events. And of course, we're going to just kind of hang out and see what happens. Surprise event 2A. Small trickles of blood begin dripping from the ceiling. Joan performs a focus 2 test. If failed, she gains light-headed 1 by the unnatural sight. Joan's focus test she's about to take is the same as doing an investigation. She's going to go ahead and roll against her maximum focus, and for every 6 is a success. Now we need to get 2, or she's going to gain lighthearted 1. There are a couple other types of tests you can do. You can also do strength, and you can also do accuracy. Now to do those, let's say it was a strength 2 check. I would roll my strength die, and depending on what number I rolled from my dark yellow die, that would tell me the result of the test. So if I had a strength 2 die roll and I had to do this, I get a 2 or better, I would have beat the need, or that would have beat the success, so we would have been able to succeed at it. Where if I would have had to do an accuracy test, I'd roll again, I get a 2, I would have succeeded as well if it was an accuracy 2. If it's an accuracy 3, I would have failed. But that's how you're going to be doing strength and accuracy tests. You're going to just roll the die that's associated with your character and match it against what the test result is that you need to pass. And if you pass it, I bet good things happen. And just like this one, if you don't, something really bad's going to happen. Joan's going to roll her 6 dice. Let's see how it goes. She only got 1. Look at all those 5s. It would have been so good if it would have been 5 or better, but it's not. It's 6. You need to get 6s. So she only got 1. She needed 2. She failed the test. She gains lightheaded 1. I'm just going to put it right here on her head because, well, she's lightheaded. So what this means is that during my character's next attack action or an attack talent, she doesn't have an attack talent. It says remove 1 random hit die. If concentrated, which is one of the boons you can gain, you can go ahead and get rid of lightheaded. Otherwise, we actually have to suffer the penalty of losing 1 of our dice when we go for our next attack. Then we get to lose our lightheaded. You're going to notice that lightheaded actually has a little triangle on it. That actually is a really cool thing that he's done because that will actually associate with the actual boon that would be able to take care of it. As seen here on the concentrated token, if we would have gotten a concentrated token, it would cancel out the lightheaded with the 2 triangles. Kind of cool that he did that. He had a little teeny thing there. I like that. There's blood in the hallway. We want to get through here really fast. I'm going to go ahead and put our family members again up next to our door to the next room. And this time I could investigate as well, but I'm not going to. I know I've investigated a few rooms, but I want to leave a few of them so that you can find out for yourself what is there. We're going to go ahead into our drawing phase, remove the door. We're going to go ahead and grab this map. Now this is when we get to find out if we're going to go backwards or if we're going to go right to the right spot. Come on, where are we going to go? Oh, it's number 8. We found it. Okay, we have found number 8, and we still have to reveal these 3 tokens, but we did find the staircase. So we're going to go ahead and read what it says right here. It says, during the drawing phase, draw map token 8A, place a tile with the staircase orientated opposite the family members. Let's start with that. We have placed map tile 8. It's right here with this big giant staircase. There's also a bookshelf over here with some bushes that we cannot get by. All right, we're going to place that back down, and now we're going to continue with our thing here. It says, draw 3 fate tokens as normal for map tile 8A. However, only spawn trap tokens and discard the rest. All right, let's see what we have found. We found a monster. I have to discard that. Oh, that's really good. Whoa, look at that. 2 monsters. Okay, get rid of both of those. What else did we find? We found a bear trap. All right, so we do have to spawn that bear trap. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna roll it just right here. We got a 5, and then we've got a 2. So it's gonna be right here. There's our bear trap. Now we're gonna go ahead and continue. Add doors to the 2 doorways in 8A not connected to the map. All right, I think that means right here and right here, I would guess, is the other door. All right, let's see what this one says. During an exploring phase, place each family member in the first row of 8A adjacent to the doorway from which you entered. So we're going to place them all here. There we go. These guys are all inside the room. They're going to have a party right here. It's going to be awesome. I'm sure this room is filled with sugar and spice and everything nice. Let's make sure we got this right. I think that's everything. Add doors to the 2 doorways in 8A not connected to the map. Oh yeah, so this one and this one, I believe. This is connected to the map. Let's go ahead and turn it over. Objective complete. Read story 1-3. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Story 1-3. Well, I'll be. Their ears haven't deceived me. What do a couple of folks lost here in our humble haunted house? An imposing, sweaty man in a white tank top and fogged over glasses slowly descends the staircase. He scratches his ear. Did y'all accidentally take a left out of the swamp room? No worry, happens all the time. I still need to fix that exit. Follow me kind and I'll get you safely back on the road. Let me first grab you a couple of free passes for the next time. We're here for you, son, Joan cries. We know he's downstairs. We'll open the door now. He takes a bite of a crunchy bone-shaped cookie. Sweet sugar lips, why so glum? Such a gorgeous night for a gorgeous lady, I might add. The man wipes his brow and removes his glasses. Sure, we can go down there. Me and my friends here will show you around. The man whistles. Dual pit bulls descend the stairs behind him. All 3 begin to growl. In name's Eustace Wade Burnett, my lady, and I'll be the gentleman of the fine Midwest you've the pleasure to meet. Now, I'm in the Midwest, and I know we don't all sound like that. I'm from Minnesota, but that's okay. I'm a big fan of this. Okay, anyway, I'm just doing an accent. It's probably a terrible accent. We're going to go ahead and continue on. Midwest, I love it. After my terrible accent, we're going to continue on here. It says, spawn Eustace W. Burnett, adjacent to the door at the top of the staircase. Spawn 2 guard dogs, 1 on each side of Eustace. Then I have to spawn 2 bear traps in 8A. Then add a door to the doorway behind the family. Begin the fighting phase. So we're going to spawn Eustace, 2 dogs, and then 2, it says bear traps. We're going to go with bear traps, not rat traps. And we're going to put them all down on 8A. It says to spawn Eustace adjacent to the door up the stairs, and then 2 guard dogs adjacent to him, 1 and 2. There. Now we're going to go ahead and get our bear traps. Let's roll our dice for our bear traps. 1 here for both sides. We got a 5, so it's going to go in the same spot. And let's see if it'll be 2 again. Nope, 4 right here. We got another one. We're going to go ahead and put this bear trap out on 6. Wow, they all like to be next to the bookcase. It's on a tree, but it can't be there. We're going to go ahead and put it right there. So apparently everybody here loves to hang out next to the bookcase and get stepped on by giant rat traps. Or sorry, bear traps. We're going to go ahead now and take our door token and we're going to place it down next to where our family members are, because now we cannot leave this building or this room. We are in a fight for our lives against Eustace here and his 2 dogs of doom. We're going to see how we do. But before we actually get into combat, we're going to stop the video right here. I know, right at a cliffhanger against the big boss. This is going to be our epic fight that we're going to be doing in our next video. We've made it all the way to the end of the mission, I believe, and we're going to take on Eustace and his 2 guard dogs. Can our family members do it? I really hope so. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the playthrough. This game's phenomenal. I'm having a blast, and this is only mission 1. Imagine what could be coming in the next set of missions. Oh, there's so much fun stuff ahead for us to experience. This is going to be great. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you'll know when the epic fight against the Eustace is coming out. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. And if you're excited to see if our family members can take down a Eustace, then I need you to meet me at the table.